Hi, this is HSE Mindset channels live. So we are going to see the process safety methods today. So the process safety method is main topic here for our HSE Mindset channel. So the process safety methods, so those are there in oil and gas industry and process industries. The lot of the process means the chemical process, oil and gas process, and the industrial process industries like manufacturing is different. When it's come to the other services is different, but the process wise, the various process forms, for example, the process of oil and gas, the process of chemicals, process of various products. So this process involves the lot of hazard and risk factors. So this hazard and risk needs to be, studied thoroughly. When you study thoroughly and making a proper safety management will give the perfect results. So these process industries, especially the oil and gas, chemical, so these industries highly vulnerable industries for accidents, incidents, then fire. There is a chances of high fire and various hazards and risks are involved in that job. A small careless mistakes will yield too much issues and too much cost, because the accidents of fire and accidents of the the various life things definitely cost the company. When you see the oil and gas industries, each and every oil drop is valuable. So when you have a fire or any accident and issues, it will all cost huge for the industry. So that's why we have the process safety methods. There are so many methods to control the hazards, to control the risks, to control and minimize the accidents, incidents, because it's a highly valuable industries, oil and gas, and so many process industries. So these process industries required more safety managements. That's why we have a HACCP, HACCP, LOPA, SIL, and FEMA. So FEMA. So these all the methods are hazard control methods, hazard management methods. We can call it as risk management methods. So these risk management methods are vital. When you have a risk management, you have to follow the proper way of management. This is these all the process, each one complementary, but not integrated. So they are not integrated, but they are complementary each other. This HACCP, HACCP, LOPA, SIL, FEMA, these are complementary each other. Each one help others, but they are not integrated. It's not allowed to integrate. So that's a very, very unique one. So how it goes like concept, detailed design, and then risk reduction and verification. So this is the method of this process. HACCP, HACCP, LOPA, SIL and FEMA. So these methods are as a concept. This concept, these concept will always make a design, detailed design. First, the concept is whether HSED, HACCP, LOPA, SIL, FEMA. This concept, detailed design, and this detailed design, the main core of the detailed design is to risk reduction. Then after the risk reduction, there will be a verification, the overall how this process, this safety management process methods, how it's working. There is a verification. So it goes like a concept, then detailed design, then risk reduction, then it goes to the verification. What verification? How the system goes, how system implemented, how the system effective. So that is the concept, detailed design, risk reduction, then verification. So we have a process safety methods. First one is HSED, HAZID, HSED. So the HSED design, so what is the main purpose of the HSED? The hazard identification. The main purpose of this HSED identification, hazard identification, then what major hazards are there. So here, what is the purpose of HSED? What are the major hazards are there. So that is the list. So we have to make a major hazards in that process industries. They have to follow this HSED, the stage wise. This is an early concept. This HSED is a early concept. And what is the output? The hazard register. The hazard register is the output for this HSED. So you have to think about the applications. The different the process safety methods, there are different applications. One is HSED. In this HSED, the main purpose of HSED is for identifying the hazards. Then, what are the major hazards are there? You have to list for this HSED. Then, the stages, the stage. So, what you have to early concept. This is a early concept, and then the output is hazard register is the output. When we follow in the early stage, this HSED needs to be followed to identify the hazards. So that is the main role here, this HSED. Then what about the HACCP? HAZOP, HACCP. So this HACCP, it's a hazard and operability study. Operability study. Hazard and operability study. Operation, you can say operation or operability study. So in this hazard and operability study, it's actually what can deviate from design intent. That is the main purpose of this HACCP. So what is the main question for this HACCP study? Hazard study, what can deviate? What is the main thing to deviate the design intent? There is a design intent is there. During the design intent itself, it's a study of deviation. So deviation of design intent. So what can deviate from the design intent? So that what can deviate from the design intent? Here we what? That you have to find out. That you have to find out through the HACCP study. So it means what can deviate from the design intent. So for example, oil and gas, the process industry. In this oil and gas and process industry, initial designing time itself, there is a design intent, so the purpose. So in that design intent, is there any deviation is there? That deviation may be in future makes accidents. That's why to find out the any deviation is there in the design intent, that study is called the HSEMIND study. So here the stage is this detailed design operation stage. Detailed design operation stage, and output the cases, then you have consequences and safeguard. So this one, detailed design and operations. When you perform this HSEMIND, during the detailed design and operation time, you can perform the HSEMIND, and then the stage, that is output, is you have get the consequences. When you are studying the HSEMIND in the oil and gas or process industry, you will see the any deviation from the design intent. That deviation, you can get a cases. Number 1 case, number 2 case, number 3 case. In these cases, there will be consequences. Some issues will come during the operability study. That consequences and also safeguard. When we have a safety people with that, they also see what is the safeguard in that. So that is the output. So in case of some leakages are there, in case of some gas outlet is there, some gas leak out there. So in that there will be a safeguard. That is the output of this HSEMIND studies. So this HSEMIND studies is studying the detailed design operations of the oil and gas or process industry or chemical industry. Here the output is the cases. When you study the design and operability study in that entire plant, there will be a cases. So some leakages, some accidents, some oil spillages. So cases. So that is the consequences. When we run the plant 1, what will be the consequences? When you run the plant B, what will be the consequences? When we run plant C, what will be the consequences? So that is the there. Then during the HSEMIND study itself, safety people always be there. The safety team also be there. So that safety team also there for giving the safety guard and safe instructions, and where are the SOP of the safety things they put in. So that's also one output for that HSEMIND study. So that is the HSEMIND. Okay, third one is LOPA, LOPA. So this is the larger of participants. So here larger of protection analysis. So LOPA means larger of protection analysis. Protection analysis. So LOPA means larger of protection analysis, where the purpose of this one making the safeguards. Is it safeguards are sufficient or not? So that is to find out whether in this process industry, in this oil and gas industry, whether these safeguards are sufficient or insufficient. So that is the intent, that is the real purpose for studying the LOPA. It means the layer of protection, layer of protection analysis, layer of protection analysis. So in that you have a safeguards is sufficient or not. Then here stage after that, and then output is you have a IPL. Output is IPL. So in this LOPA is normally whether the safeguard is sufficient or not. So that is the main question here. If it's sufficient means no study, but if it's not sufficient, you have to have a further studies. So then SIL here the safety integrity level. So safety integrity level, SIL, safety integrity level. So how reliable must be the SIL? So this purpose is how the SIL system is reliable. So here safety integrity level of process industry or oil and gas industry. So it means this SIL is reliable or not, that you have to check. Whether this SIL is reliable or not, that you have to check. So stage is safety requirement. This one safety requirement. Then what is the output means SIL target 1 to 4. SIL target 1 to 4. That is the main purpose of the SIL. Then the final one, FEMA, FEMA, that is failure modes and effective analysis. So FEMA means the failure modes and effective analysis. In this, how can this each component or process fail? How can each component or process gets failed? Why it gets failed? That study required this FEMA. So this FEMA is very, very important to know the failure thing. So the stage one, design stage itself, you have to start. And also the output is prioritized failure and actions. So we can say prioritizing the failure part. So the design side, any failure is there, that failure you can address through this FEMA. So the process, chemical process industry, oil and gas industries, there will be a process safety methods. This process safety methods, we have a HACCP, LOPA, then we have a SIL, and finally FEMA, FEMA. So in this one, HACCP is for hazard identification, then HACCP to identify the design deviation. Then LOPA is the detailed design operation method, how it works. Then LOPA, layer of protection analysis, LOPA. SIL means the safety integrated level. Safety integrated level is SIL. FEMA, failure analysis and effective analysis. So each one is a complementary. In the process safety methods, each one complementary, but not integrated. But each one supports others. One system supports for failure analysis. One system is for support for safeguards. One system is supports for hazard identification. One method supports the hazard and operation methods. So one system is supports for the protection and analysis, and it will give the safeguards, more safeguard to the operability study, or more safeguard to the process, the entire process. So oil and gas, chemical industry, the process is huge, and it's any time accident will happen. High risk jobs. So these high risk jobs, there is a chances of chances of liquid leakage. For example, the crude oil or the petroleum products or any petroleum refined products or chemicals. So these are highly valuable and also risky also. When during the process there is a chemical leakage or oil leakage or hazardous gases leakage, like H2S, hydrogen sulfide. So these gases, these oils are highly vulnerable. Because of these gases highly valuable, these oil are highly valuable, chemical highly valuable, and also highly risk. That's why we study. So HACCP, HACCP, LOPA, SIL, FEMA, these all the methods, process safety methods. You must distinguish. So when you are a safety officer, the safety engineer or safety department side, you have to think about the application of these process methods. So how the HACCP is for hazard identification. HACCP is hazard and operability study, how the operation goes, that study. And the LOPA is detailed design operation, how this design operation safely done. So that's for LOPA. Then SIL is for integrated level, how this integrated level goes. So, and also the FEMA failure analysis. In case of any failure is there, that effective analysis, failure modes and effective analysis. That means in this process industry, there are different stages are there. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. In between stage, any failure is there, or to identify the failure and to take the corrective measures, that will be this FEMA. So these are the methods of process safety methods will help the oil and gas and the overall process chemical industries to make the safety in a proper manner and application for right time, right application. So right time means HACCP, the design time, HACCP, design and operation time, then LOPA during the design time for safeguard, SIL is for the whether safeguard is enough or not, and then FEMA for to find out the failure analysis. So these are the methods of process methods. So being a safety officer, when you want to enhance your career, when you want to improve your career, you must know all these things, at least somewhat you must know it during the interview, or when you are working in oil and gas or process industry. You can yourself explain these things and participate in that programs. So that is what we are talking about, safety process safety methods. So that is the end of our process safety methods training. I hope you understand the methods. So when you are keeping on studying, definitely you will get more information. So we will have some other day the process safety, more detailed things are there. In our channel also, there are difference between HACCP and HACCP is there in videos. So you go through it. So still you didn't subscribe the channel, subscribe it, share it, like it. This is a exclusively HSEMINDSETmm channel for HSE. So don't forget to watch it, watch the channel, and you have any queries and comments, just comment it. I'll try to answer for that, and keep on watch this channel, HSE channel, and recommend to your friends also. Any improvement required, just tell us. Definitely we will always try to improve our side. So thanks for viewing. So we will have some other day, some other live session. So thanks for viewing. Thank you, man. Thank you very much.